Hello and welcome to the
Hi, how are
WEDCAST,
you?
episode 3, but our first live one, James.
Yeah, absolutely. The WEDCAST is a fortnightly live wedding show.
It is. Let's chat weddings. I'm still unsure about that theme tune. What do you reckon?
Again, it's one of those ones that grow on you, I think.
Do you think we'll leave it grow another couple of weeks?
Initially, I thought, yeah, I think so. I think initially I thought you were joking when you played it to me, but it's definitely grown on me.
I really was joking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was it?
Yeah, it wasn't like
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to question your taste, but yeah, I find myself singing it to myself though afterwards.
It's really not my musical taste. I am a rockhead, and that is so it certainly isn't rock. But anyway, should we move on?
Absolutely. So, should we talk about what the WEDCAST is? So, the WEDCAST is a fortnightly live wedding show. It's about giving you the opportunity to speak to wedding professionals and ask the questions in kind of an open, honest forum, really.
Yeah.
And the WEDCAST
we're definitely not a selling page, so we're not asking people to come here so we can give them amazing deals or anything. We're not a selling page at all. This isn't a wedding fair because that would be too stressful to do for me anyway. Seeing other people, I'm going to go with that. It's absolutely crazy. Online wedding fairs are now. So I wouldn't want to do that, but we are here, honestly, openly talking. There's 2 friends with other friends coming on each time we do it and just chatting about weddings to see if we can make somebody's life a little bit easier when they're planning theirs.
Yeah, 100%. That's really well said.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. So, if you're checking this out live, thank you very much. Also, we do have 2 pre-recorded shows. One was on wedding videography, one was on wedding magician, and it wasn't me doing it. So you can check those out. And today we have
the wonderful Belle Mariee Bridal. Absolutely legendary. I've known these 2 for a long time, and their dresses are absolutely incredible. And I just wanted people just to see the service and the experience these girls give their brides, which, you know, when they're at weddings with me, the amount of effort that goes into their work at a wedding is far over and above just bridal. Their friends, they become like, you know, really close friends with their brides, which is absolutely amazing to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what they got. And because our show today is all about bridal wedding dresses, how to find the perfect wedding dress, how to book your consultations and stuff, I thought these guys would be the best to bring on and chat about that, really. I don't know a lot about dresses, James, do you? Although you may do in the night.
Do you know what? I've learned a lot more this week. I've been trying to do the research. I obviously wasn't involved with my wedding very much in that. I obviously seen it for the first time on the day. But I was looking at the collections Belle Mariee Bridal do and just thinking, oh, wow. Like, and this is something I'd like to ask. Obviously, we're going to bring them on in a sec, and I'm babbling. But how do people, like, choose their wedding dress? Do people come in with idea? Like, I want this certain, material, certain shape. And do people change their mind after seeing other dresses and trying them on? I'm really genuinely interested in finding out all about that stuff.
Good job we got them on then.
Absolutely.
We're also going to be talking about like seating plans and stuff because that's really difficult.
Absolutely.
I know I struggled with our wedding. I don't know if you did with yours, but who to invite, why you should invite them, should you invite them? I mean, the oldest place to come to your wedding. I mean, and then the people who are invited, where do we sit them in the wedding, etc. It's really difficult stuff that people struggle with, I think. So maybe we can have a little chat.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely have a chat. And there's some really good tips as well. I picked some up this week that I wish I'd had at the beginning. So and when I plan my wedding, and there's some really nifty little things that we'll go through and we'll have a chat about. So, stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So this is every fortnight. We're going to be back in 2 weeks' time with another guest, and we're going to have another subject to do a wedding. So if people are watching, there's a good few watching already. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Paul. Monkeys Emporium. Hello. Come can you share this with friends, family, people who get married? So hopefully this can help them out a little bit, even if we can help one person. I think we'd be happy, James. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, and what I didn't say earlier is, when you book in wedding services, to me, it felt like when I had my wedding, a lot like taking your car to the garage. Like you don't really know, unless you're a mechanic, you don't really know what to expect, if it's, what it's going to cost, what it should cost, what's a fair price. And this show will hopefully give people that information so they can make informed choices.
So a little bit about us. My name is Les Davis from Clicks Photography and Film. I've been shooting weddings for around about 13 years-ish. Absolutely love shooting weddings. Got a nice little team. We shoot photography and film. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here trying to provide some information for brides. And you are, James?
My name is James Hawker, and it's not very creative, but my business name is James Hawker Magic. I'm a wedding magician. I provide wedding entertainment, mainly during natural lull points or periods. So in between the photos, the ceremony and the wedding breakfast, or the transition between day and evening. But I can, of course, perform at any point during your big day. It's your day, so you should decide where you want things.
Very good.
It's very concise.
Okay, right. Should we bring in our guest?
Yeah.
We have got waiting in the wings. Oh, look at them all smiling. Oh, that's lovely. Look at them smiling. Ah, nice. Anyway, we're going to bring in Mel and Alison from Belle Mariee Bridal. Good evening. Good evening with the power of magic. Brr. Wow, look at that.
Hi.
Look at that.
Good evening, both.
Good
evening.
Are you okay?
Yes, thank you. You?
Thank you.
Didn't keep you waiting too long, did we?
No, it was fine watching you pair babbling, discussing, trying wedding dresses on.
I know.
It can be arranged.
Well, did you see the little thumbnail we did of this? I sort of like cuts our heads off and put it on a bride and groom, which was.
Does it look pretty good?
I thought they looked pretty nice in the dress.
Yeah, me
Nothing
too.
wrong with that at all. I loved it.
You did, actually.
Yeah. So, hello and welcome to our first live show. So if things go wrong, which they probably have, because they have gone wrong on the other episodes, just smile and wing it, right? Or
we will.
Maybe fetch Alan in. Is Alan with us today?
Yeah. Alan's with us.
I'm sure he just heard you calling.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's a French bulldog, James, so I'm sure we can have a little look at him later. I'm
definitely.
also a French bulldog owner, and I know how boisterous and mischievous they can become. So if you see any of them running later, it's because Alan's pulling on the dresses behind them.
Exactly.
Oh, he's trying to get in on the act now.
Nice.
Get in after.
Oh, he's in already.
There he is. Anyway, so you are Belle Mariee Bridal.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, can you tell us a little about what you do and what sort of services you provide?
Yeah, we've been running now since 2012. We opened on St. Valentine's Day in our previous shop.
Wow.
We moved up to our new premises a year ago. So we now got 3 floors, whereas we only had the one in the previous shop. So we now have, on the upper floor, we have Mother of the Bride. On this floor, we have the bridal. And then downstairs, we've just taken a photographer downstairs. So we've tried and cover as much as we possibly can without overloading.
Yeah. And how long have you guys been running now?
We've started in 2012, so 8 years, well, 8.5 years now.
God, that's a long time.
It is, so we live in every minute.
In the same premises?
No, we were in the previous shop for, 7 years. We've been up in Williams Place now for a year.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. What is your website name? Have we got it to put across the bottom?
Yeah,
so the URL.
I think so. www.bellemariebridal.co.uk.
It's coming there. Look, power of magic. Look at
that.
He's claiming magic all the time.
I know. So where can we find you?
In Porth.
Yeah.
So we are we're on the one-way system just next to the police station. A lot of people will know where the police station is in Porth, I'm sure. So we just on the bridge. So you've got ourselves, and then you've got Wedding Balloon World.
Across the road.
Across the road, our neighbours.
Yes,
so it's quite convenient. And we also have our own car park, which is something that a lot of other shops don't seem to have.
And do you know what? That is really important, isn't it?
It is, if they can find it.
Yeah, it's right behind the police station. So
Oh, is it?
yeah,
But still, I still think having it, when people are like traveling to do stuff, and I would imagine you've got like a group of people come in, maybe.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
last thing you want to do is be soaking when you're trying on dresses. I would imagine, anyway.
Yeah, we got a little comment here. If you girls, I don't know if you can see this.
hi Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
How lovely, Lynn.
A quick note. I don't know how Lynn pulls off all the wedding phase, like the way she does.
She's
She's a
fantastic.
True professional, is she?
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's really stressful. I mean, this is stressful doing this, but like,
I had the anxiety on the 5-minute countdown, and we're only doing this for an hour. And when you think that some of those online wedding fairs are all day, it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy. A lot of work going into that. We really appreciate everything that Lynn does.
And
Oh yeah,
Steve.
most
Yeah, and Steve, obviously.
Oh yeah, don't forget Steve.
No, don't forget Steve.
My wonderful West wedding playing. Okay, so
Can I ask? Oh,
Go on.
sorry, Les.
Go on.
Yeah, I was going to ask why you started this business, and like how did it came about, and how did it come about? Even?
For years and years, I've had a passion for dressmaking, and also I helped quite a few of my friends out with wedding decorations, etc.
Made bridesmaids dresses.
Made bridesmaids dresses and everything, and I thought, why not put the two together, use my skills into something that I'm, really passionate about. And that was the beginning of Belle Mariee Bridal.
Wow. I think that's like a lot of businesses, isn't it? That people do it because they love doing it, particularly with weddings, and then they end up it becoming a business. I know for me, I started as a hobby. I just love, doing magic, and I love learning, and then it just grew from there, really. And that's kind of what you said.
When she first started the shop and she asked me to do, I never in a million years thought I would even know anything about it. But I think from the first week, we both just fell into it, and it's just gone bigger and bigger and better, and we've added more things, and just love it. To be fair.
So when you say about you've added more things, it's not just bridal you do. I mean, you've got different, as I'm looking on your website here now, you've got different things like makeup and stuff. Do you want to talk us through a little bit about some of the added extras you can provide the brides?
Yeah, well, I do makeup, and obviously we added that as a package. When you buy your bridal gown, you can get a free makeup trial, and then obviously you can book your bridal makeup with me as well. Alison also does hair. So we got a hair package, same sort of thing. You get a free hair trial when you buy your bridal gown.
Yeah.
Also, we'll do the whole bridal party as well. And then Al does alterations. We do payment plans. There's loads of things.
So you do the on-site alterations. So if say I was a bride and I bought a dress, and I don't know, lost a bit of weight or gained a bit. I mean, we're human. It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Because how long would they buy a dress before their wedding day?
The majority of people are sort of 8 months to a year.
Yeah.
But then I always say to them, we leave the alterations till about 6 weeks before. I don't want to be altering a dress twice. I don't want to be charging somebody twice to do the dress.
Oh, that's
I've
nice,
been doing dresses the day before the wedding if needs be. If somebody's still on a diet, I'll work with them.
Yeah.
And then obviously they can come back and forth as many times as they like. They'd only charge the once.
Yeah.
And also I do an awful lot of bespoke. So we add straps, take things off, all sorts of things. So most dresses are quite bespoke anyway.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of brides love that, because obviously when they come in to look for dresses, we make suggestions. They say, oh, I don't like this, or I do like that, and I want to add this or take that away.
Yeah.
And then we come up with suggestions. They absolutely love that.
So if I bought a dress and say
which I think you are getting a lot closer to doing this, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know. I'm talking about it a lot.
Can see this.
We'll get you in. We'll get you in one.
Yeah. And then, but you could
think we should one day.
If it didn't fit me, I could just come back to you and you would alter it to make sure that's perfect still on the day.
Yes.
Oh, that's really
Pretty
good.
much,
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a really good
You can
service.
usually, you can usually alter a dress up or down 2 or 3 sizes. But
Wow.
you know, we can even do more than that with a little bit of magic.
To be
I
honest,
usually tell everybody she can do anything, and then she kills me for saying it, but she does it. So
yeah,
I
so
tell
you
her.
can. So, and
Yes, I have to.
with lockdown, I would have to have mine altered, I think, because
Oh, wouldn't we
lockdown
all?
is literally, well, I'm on a new button on my belt, new hole. So
Just one, you were lucky.
just I know. Okay, so you do bridal, you do makeup, you do hair, you do alterations.
Yeah.
What's this? I can see your big day dressing service. What's that?
So this is when we go out to the bride. Obviously, Mel's doing the makeup for the bridal party. I'll do the hair, and then we dress the bride to make sure she's in that dress as well as she can be.
Right,
Making sure all the little details are right on the day.
Which is super important, because especially for me being a photographer, I mean, the amount of people that I've been at weddings with, and that they haven't had that service, I guess. I mean, I would the complexity of a wedding dress is not just like putting a dress on, I guess.
No.
It takes a long time to do that dress up correctly. And I think some brides get really stressed out because the people doing the dress up, they're not professionals, and they think, oh, I can do this dress up. But it stresses them out a little bit, because it's not like they had on in the shop, because you guys know exactly how it should fit, so to speak. So I think that's really handy for every bride to sort of go for something like that.
Yeah, we get a lot of. Go on, sorry. We get a lot of like mother of the brides and chief bridesmaids and things that come in, and they say, oh yeah, I can do it, but then they get so nervous coming up to the wedding. They're like, oh, I don't think I can do it properly, because the way it is easy to do, I suppose, but the way it's done to make the dress look as if it's fitting perfectly, it is, I think you've got to know exactly.
Yeah, and everybody's getting stressed out on the morning of the wedding. The last thing that you want to be doing is being responsible for making sure that dress looks perfect, and for us, it's a 10-minute job, no pressure, no stress, whereas it could spoil the whole day for the bride.
And not only that, I think for us, it's nice to be. We love it. We've been there from day one. As soon as they walk into the shop, we've given them the whole experience, and then to be there right before they walk down the aisle, I think it's even more, makes them even more special for us as well. Then,
and it makes my job easier on the day as well. So I
was going to say, people go through the wedding planning process, and they're going through it for months, even years. And it just doesn't make sense to me that people would want to, risk being so stressed on the morning of the wedding day when it finally arrives. I mean, it just makes sense to do that. That's a lovely touch.
We've steamed dresses on the day. We've literally sewn dresses on the day. We've
shortened trousers, done cravats.
Yeah, we even had to take the groomsmen all the way to Caerphilly because the cars didn't turn up. That's how far we'll take our bridal package if needs be, just to keep the bride calm.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? It is like people hire me or hire any other service for photography or film. It's not just that I do, though. We always,
there's so much more involved.
Yeah, a good service always does more what they ever can. I guess. You know what I mean? So I mean, like you said, I've been a purse holder. I've been a dog walker or a child.
Yeah, we've done that. Fed the dog, answer the phone.
In there, and I'm thinking, I'm holding this child taking photos, and it gets crazy sometimes. We do it to try and make that bride and groom's day go smoothly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so if I was explain to me the experience there. So would I let me just stop you and bring you back. There we go. So if I was to, I don't know, ring you to have a dress fit in, what would the process be? Explain to me how I would do that, because I haven't got a clue.
So from start, you can tell he's really keen. So this was what was in my head as well. So I found your shop, I found you online, and I want to start the process of coming to look at dresses. How does that work?
Well, usually it's always best to make an appointment, because we do like to give an hour and a half to each and every bride so they get our full attention. There's only ever one of us in the shop at one time. Sometimes, very rarely there's two. So we can only see one bride at a time. Then obviously they get the full service. If somebody does walk in, especially during the week, Mel's on her own, if there's nobody in, then obviously we'll see a bride then as well. It's not a problem. But we wouldn't want somebody coming all the way come to the door and we've obviously got somebody in. We can't have somebody in at the same time when somebody's, putting on and off dresses. So it always makes sense to make an appointment.
Yeah, very true, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So make your appointments, guys.
Yeah, make appointments.
Are you two?
Definitely. So
You two. We know you're trying to get an address. Les,
I'll bring Les. I'll bring Les down.
Okay.
You can do like a mock wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, fab. Who's marrying who?
Les as well.
If you need a photographer then to take some shots, we could have it.
That'd be really handy.
Really, really handy. So I've made the appointment. So I imagine, everything with weddings and with my service, like you've both said, it's not just about me turning up and doing magic for an hour on the day. It's about the complete service. So it's how easy it is to book me, how clear I am about everything that I do and how I can fit it in and change things around. It's about the customer service and just being helpful. So it's all about the experience, isn't it? So when they come to you, they get that hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it's an experience, isn't it? It's not just turning up, I'm going to have a look at a dress. It sounds more intimate than that.
Yeah, definitely. I think from the minute they come through the door, we sort of try to make them feel as relaxed as possible. Because whether they come in with one other person, whether they come in on their own, whether they come in with 10 people, whatever, everybody wants to go straight to look at the dresses, like, oh, this is nice, this is nice, this is nice. We basically just say to them, look, especially if it's their first time, it's like whatever you've been looking at online, just try to be open-minded about, because things look completely different online. Do you know what I mean? Have a look at everything. Try, even if you never thought you would like that sort of dress, just have a go of it, so you get the full bridal experience. You get to say you've tried on every dress, and then you will definitely find the perfect one. You get the full experience then of how you should try on bridal gowns. You try on everything.
And 90% of brides, sorry, James.
No, go on.
We always say 90% of brides come in with an idea in their head. They know exactly what they want, and they go away with something completely different. And they're always pleased that we've helped them, because they're like, oh, I would never have thought of trying that on, and really appreciate. Obviously, if somebody's got a set dress and they want that dress, then, we will do whatever we can to make sure they have what it is that they want. But we do encourage them to try something, just to say they've tried it, and it's something they really don't want.
Yeah. So is it just I don't know if you said this earlier, sorry. Is it just bridal dresses you do? Or is it like
Mother of the Bride as well?
We do bride. Yeah, we do Mother of the Bride. We do bridesmaids. We do flower girls. We basically do the whole bridal party. Yeah. Which again, they tend to look at the bridesmaids' dresses when they come in anyway. But then they usually make another appointment to come back with all the bridesmaids' bridal party. Maybe they'll come back again separately with the flower girls. We've recently started Mother of the Bride, but we have. Since we've started, it's gone amazing. So they get upstairs to the Mother of the Bride, because if there happens to be space, between the next appointments, we'll let them go mental and they can have a go trying everything on. But otherwise, we do recommend making another appointment, so then they get another full hour and a half just for that section of the wedding.
Yeah.
How many dresses do brides, would you say, on average? I know it'll be difficult as my audio's out. How many dresses would they try on average before they have a clear idea of what they want?
Oh God, some can be one.
Yeah,
I'll go back to the first one. But we generally, I would say on average, we get them to try on about 6 to 10 dresses, sometimes far more. Some shops you go to will limit you on how many you can, but this is why we like to give an hour and a half, so that we can make sure they can try as many as they want. If you still want to try more dresses on, and we have run out of time, and we got somebody else coming in, we say, look, come back and try on the other half of the shop. So we got no limits on. We want to make sure they've tried everything, and make sure that they know exactly what they want.
And so just one last thing, do you have, like, I can see a lot of dresses behind you, there are dresses, that's not a picture, is it?
No, they are dresses.
So you would have
just a small corner.
I was going to say, so you've got like lots of dresses in the shop that people can just go, because I don't even know if you like these type of programs, like, say yes to the dress. when
We
there's
hear a lot about that in the shop. Everybody
yeah.
comes in and says they watched Yes to the Rest.
What I'm trying to say, I know they've got like loads of dresses on racks that people can look at. Is it that sort of thing? You can think, oh yeah, I love that, because it's all right looking in a book. Oh, that looks lovely. But then,
Yeah,
if you're anything like me, I like to touch things, so I want to feel the
Yeah.
material, and
we try and have as many different styles and types of dresses. They can, see everything. We obviously only have one dress in one size, so we try and make sure that it's something one size fits all. Doesn't always work, but we try to make sure that our dresses do sort of start from 14 upwards. So we can, more dress, because a big girl doesn't want to try a small dress on, a small girl doesn't want to try a big dress, but unfortunately we can, we have to buy our samples, so we have to only buy one dress in each style. But the other thing that we can do is we quite often do designer weekends where we get additional dresses in from our suppliers. We can get up to 15 more dresses of current for a weekend of news, the new collection, so they're able to see a lot more styles than we've already got in store, which obviously we've got a good selection in store as it is.
Yeah, really good. I just could never work out if there was like lots of dresses that people try on, or you're just looking through a book. I don't know. So that's
lots of dresses they try on.
Yeah, we try to have a big section. We got quite a nice variety of, like, we've got your plus size section, which is tidy size dresses, because like we do get some girls who come in and say that they go to some shops and they haven't got a plus size range, but we think everybody should be equal. We got the smaller
100%.
dresses, we got every single dress you can think of basically, and we don't just have one style in those dresses either. We make sure we got all the styles you can think of, so they can try on anything. And
say like, I know Ali said you do alterations and stuff. So say like a bride come in and bought a dress and thought, oh, I love this, but I just want, I don't know, a bit of bling here or something. Can you add that for them, or is it just you buy the dress and that's it?
As Mel tells every bride who comes in here, I can do anything.
You can do anything, of course.
I can do anything.
What usually happens is I say she can do anything. She'll speak to the bride, and then the bride will give the suggestion. Then Alison will say, "Oh yeah, that'd be nice, but let's also do this, and let's add a bit of that." And then it just blows out of proportion, and the brides just go wild, don't they? Because it's like, "Oh my god, my dress is amazing."
You should have it like a slogan now on top of the shop. Al can do anything.
Yeah, I can do anything, definitely.
Well, it'll definitely be on my headstone if nothing else, Les.
So what tips would you give people, if you had to give people like 3 tips to when they're hiring a service like yours? So when they're looking for their dress, what would you tell them?
Definitely take your time.
Yeah. I would say be open-minded. Don't just set your mind on one thing.
And number 3, don't, as I said, take your time. Don't rush. Make sure that you've made sure that you've checked out all the options that are there for you. We get a lot of brides come in and they've gone in shops and somebody said, you can't wear a fishtail. And we say, well, why can't you wear a fishtail? Try it on. Or you can't wear this. We say, well, try it on. Let's just see. And, you even get sometimes girls will try a fishtail somewhere else, and they'll try a different one on and it looks completely different. So we just say try everything. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel pressured. Just don't feel pressured you have to have this dress, or not just by shops, by whoever's with you and things like that. I think it always has to be your decision, and you have to be 100% comfortable in it. At the end of the day, you're going to be wearing all day and all night. We also say we don't push. We never push. If somebody does come in and say, oh, I want this dress, we do try to say to them, go away and sleep on it.
Yeah.
If you're still thinking about that dress when you wake up in the morning, you come back.
Yeah. We never push
because it's always a little bit more worry. And when they say, oh, no, this is the one, it's like, oh, are you sure? We want people to make sure they haven't made a rash decision. They're going to regret in the morning. So we go and sleep on it and come back. We're not going anywhere. And, we're happy to come back. You come back and we'll give you all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You do get some girls, though, get so excited. They're like, no, that's it. This is the one. I can't go anywhere else. I love Alan.
That's what I would be like.
They usually try and steal Alan as well, because they all fall in love with him. Because you will get to see Alan when you come to the shop.
I've got a friend you can just have, honestly, because he's so naughty. You can just take him down there, and if anybody wants Alan, just say, you can't have Alan, but you can have Ned.
You can have Ned.
Yeah, you can take Ned anytime. Okay, so wonderful insight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So website again is there it comes. Look at that. The power of magic, James.
Like magic.
Fabulous.
Wow. Belle Mariee Bridal. So Marie with the double E.
That's it.
Yeah.
Which caught me out on the promo of this because I was only putting one, sorry. So it's bellemariebridal.co.uk. Going to look at the website. The website is absolutely brilliant, to be honest, because it's really informative and simple, which is great because that's all you want.
Yeah.
Just you want
Yeah,
to
it's recently been updated. It's just got all the newest photos and everything on there.
Yeah, we kind of look at it like how we would look at a work, because like we're not massively computer savvy or nothing like that. And I just think the simpler it is, the easier it is for brides to follow. You know,
it's got to be it's got to be simple to find what you want to find, doesn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
And yours is really good.
And if anybody watching wants to go and visit, that's the shop there, the little shop on the hill.
Yeah,
you can't miss it, to be honest, when you're driving through Porth.
Oh God, no.
Have you gone up that one-way system there? It's always on the left there before the bridge, isn't it? So
yeah.
So you can't miss it. Pop in. Pop in, or do you do pop-ins? Or can you do a ring?
You can do, if the door is locked, which it is most of the time anyway, because if I'm upstairs or whatever, gotta lock the door. Because like you said, there's usually just one of us here, not two of us. There is a bell outside. You can ring the bell, or you can ring the numbers on the top anyway. If there's nobody in the shop, then we will let you in, and obviously you can look at whatever you want to. If there is a bride in, obviously we'll just explain nicely that we have got a bride in. You can either pop back in an hour or give us a ring, or we can make you an appointment. Appointment is best, really, but we wouldn't push you away if you did knock the door, what have you.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions, James?
Well, there was just one has come through from Paul. When will you be open for appointments? No,
well, we're just waiting for the next update. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the 22nd of June. That's what I'm pinning my hopes on. We have been taking appointments, and we've taken an awful lot of appointments for the next 2 months, to be honest. Weekends are almost fully booked already. So we are taking appointments because we are thinking positive. We will have lots and lots of things in place, and different restrictions, etc., that we do need to comply with, unfortunately. But we want to make sure that our customers are safe as well as ourselves. That's and we just have to comply with government guidelines.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as lockdown eases a little bit, who knows, in a couple of months we could be back to doing appointments or whatever it happens. We just got to sit there and make sure everybody's safe.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yes, let's hope.
Yes.
That's right. So thank you so much for that. Absolutely brilliant.
You're welcome. Enjoyed it.
Paul just come back and said thank you very much. Oh, there we are.
You're welcome, Paul.
So we are gonna chat about people that we invite, who we should invite to weddings or we shouldn't invite to weddings. It was a topic that we were a bit like chatting about our weddings, because the topics come up from our weddings, basically, and some of our family were sitting at the back of the ceremony and stuff, and we were like, oh gosh, what I mean, after you don't realize, because you're in marriage mode, and so we're thinking those roles and stuff like that. So we were thinking about ushers and things. So we're gonna chat about stuff like that. Do you want to join us?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Anything weddings we love.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
can I just say, I hope my mother-in-law's not watching this pod.
Well, I hope none of mine are. Well, my none of my ushers, really, I was going to say.
You could always renew and do it properly next time.
That is very true. Yeah. And in all fairness, I'll just kick off of mine, is it? So basically, in my wedding, unless you've been married before, you don't actually know how things work. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why we wanted to start the WEDCAST, is to give information out to bride and grooms and just, and just try and help their lives a bit. So, I mean, on my wedding day, obviously I had ushers, best man, etc. And they were doing a great job of winding me up, making me feel really nervous, making me want to be sick, just really teasing me as friends do, and they're doing a great job of having a few beers way before the wedding, which I may have taken part in a little bit. Just one, just in case the kids watching.
As you do.
As you do. And so then, and in all fairness, although I shoot weddings and I shot weddings for years before my wedding, I thought I knew everything about weddings, but obviously I don't get involved in, what the usher should do and stuff. I'm just making sure I'm capturing their moments, you know. So I didn't really probably give them enough information really on what they should be doing, you know. So when it comes to the actual ceremony, they would just stand at the back having a chat, chucking rocks at the back of my head and stuff, do you know what I mean? And things like that as they do. And but when it came to the wedding then, when we look back, it's like, I think it was some of Kate's family was sitting at the back of the ceremony where they should have been right down the front with us, you know, so they sort of missed little bits here and there. So just little things like that. We thought, how do we make sure that don't happen for others, you know? Because it's a subject where you don't really discuss. You just say, right, do you want to be my best man? Do you want to be my usher?
Yeah, and I think everybody knows ushers show people to their seats, but there is a little bit more to it. Or there should be a little bit more thought in that process, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was an issue in my wedding, but I'll talk about some of the issues in my wedding when we talk about seating in general and inviting people.
So I sort of thought about an usher's role. What does an usher basically do, basically? And so, I don't know, should we have a little discussion on what we think they should do? So obviously they would get, with the majority of the time, unless they are in a different, you know, hotel or something, they are in the morning getting ready, making sure, helping the best man to make sure the groom is getting ready on time and he's there waiting, etc.
Yep.
Also, they would usher people, which is their job, I guess, isn't that the name? Ushering people to destinations. So, like, making sure, I mean, everybody's important at your wedding, but you've got immediate family which need to be more involved, you know, down the front, etc. Parents, grandparents, etc., you know, making sure they are sitting on the right sides and stuff and sitting down the front, etc. I
actually got really anal about this now, and you know, just in the week leading up to this going live, just looking at things that I weren't really involved with at all on my wedding, and I didn't think about. So little things like, how many of that immediate family have you got on each side? How many spaces are there on the pews or the seats or whatever? Just, and they sound like really silly things, but they're really important. And if you've got 12 members of immediate family, then you need room for 12 people. And sometimes that's 2 rows, 1 row, or whatever. But those ushers need to know that, and they need to know who these people are. I even thought about, it's much easier to do these days than when I got married, but you could show photos to the ushers of who the people are.
Yeah,
because
very true.
My ushers were my side of the family. They didn't know the immediate family necessarily of my wife, no wives.
My wives.
No,
Maybe that's where you went wrong.
yeah, absolutely.
But I think that what ushers, I think what ushers are an important job, but I think they're an unsung sort of role. I don't think they get much credit because the best man is the best man, you know what I mean? And everybody thinks like, oh, the best man does this, because the ushers don't really speak a lot, but I think their role is super important as well. So I think ushers, a bit of advice for ushers, I think they should familiarize themselves with the coordinator. Nothing wrong, just because you know the best man, to introduce yourself to the coordinator and say, right, what's my role? What anything I need to know, anything I need to do.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
the coordinators of the wedding will know everything you need to know, really. So I would think the best tip if you're an usher is find that coordinator. You'll see her or see him at some point in that day, because they will be really trying to usher you. They'll be ushering as well.
Yeah,
ushering you around all over the place with the bride and groom and everything, making sure you just introduce yourself, shake your hand, and say, look, I've never done this before. Is there anything I need to know? Anything I need to do? And they will fill you in exactly. And I think a lot of people maybe, I don't know, embarrassed to do that. Maybe, I don't know, because they maybe.
I think probably a lot of ushers think, I'm an usher. That's all I'm doing is giving out whatever, the order of service. And I'm just going to ask you, are you on the bride's side or are you on the groom's side? And they think that's all that is, that they need to know.
That's right.
Maybe there should be a little job description just to say, just be aware there's this, this many people on the groom's side, this many people on the bride's side. They, make it easy for them as well, because it's not something they might have done before themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas the bride and the groom, not always the groom, the are full into the wedding, arranging and whatever.
Yeah.
The ushers are not, and even bridesmaids, the chief bridesmaid and the best man might have a bit more knowledge of what have I got to do? They'll be told, but he's not going to say what have the usher got to do.
Yeah.
And
most of the time they're probably feeling nervous about it, because even though they'll have a laugh and a joke at the boys, when it comes to like people they haven't met before and things like that, they all quite go a bit shy, don't they? So I think maybe if they know their roles, and like I say, familiarise themselves with names and things like that, then perhaps, and maybe a couple more whiskies before they start.
I'm not saying that everybody was like, I don't think I give my ushers any direction, to be honest.
I don't think most people do, because it's not something you think about until the day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't realise what the issues are going to be until the day.
Yeah.
You don't realise that Auntie Margaret might be in a wheelchair, or do you know what I mean? Those sort of things. Right. They're oblivious to all of that until they turn up at the church or the venue.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Unless they're told, how would they know? Innit?
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to be fair, sometimes the groom doesn't
realise either.
No, because like you sit down, you and the bride, and obviously sort things out beforehand. But when it comes to the day of the wedding, you think that sort of thing is sorted, because you're nervous yourself. Like you said, you don't think about telling the boys, right, hang on now, you've got to make sure this and what have you.
So I didn't until this week, and I've been married 10 years.
And my advice, I think our advice would be, if you were an usher, speak to your bride and groom, to your mate, and ask them, make sure you know your roles, because an usher's role is super important, because if the usher doesn't get our role right in seating people, then like ours, important, family members are sitting on the last row of your wedding, and that's probably not
it's not good.
No.
Yeah,
and you would probably get it in the neck afterwards.
And I'm thinking, bride and grooms, you should be the one speaking to the ushers. I would be very, very impressed if somebody out there is thinking, do you know what, I'm usher, I got a wedding coming up later in the year. I've heard the WEDCAST talking about ushers, and I'm going to tune in off my own back. So,
you never know, you set a new trend.
Yeah, if you have, that is amazing, and I take my hat off to you. But I do think the onus is on the bride and groom beforehand to be thinking about these things and conveying that to people. I mean, I've been an usher once or twice. I'd like to think I've done a good job, but I just felt a bit gutted I went the best man when I was out. So I don't know whether that reflected in what I did. But it's certainly a conversation you should be having, and it will definitely make a bit of a difference on the day.
Yeah. I agree. There we go. I saw that every usher now in South Wales is just amazing on the day.
People will be in the seats before they know it.
That's right.
You should get them to write in now on your next cast to say whether they've done it or whether they've been and spoke to the bride or groom.
I'd love to hear that, actually. That's a really good point.
It is good.
So if you have been an usher,
feedback, it's always good for feedback, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's ushers. So now, who do you invite to your wedding? Who did you have? What about when you would think, how long ago were you married, James?
I actually got married on Valentine's Day in 2009. So how many years is that? 11 years, not 10. Oh, this is not going good for me.
11 years.
So, I mean, a lot of the guest list, it was really difficult, to be honest. I think there was people that me and my wife wanted. There was people, both families or both kind of parents wanted to invite. Some of those we didn't really want there. I hope this isn't, going to do a long-term damage.
But I'm so glad you went first. I might forget my bit.
Yeah, but I think these are conversations people are having. I mean, my great auntie might mean a lot more to my mum than she does to me, and then so how do you kind of have those situations? How do you have those conversations, and how you say no and how you say yes, and who actually should be there? And you come up with a good idea before we come on. I think, Les, when you said about giving parents of the brides or the groom an allocation of people that they can invite. I don't know what you both think of that. I mean, it was your idea, Les, so presumably.
Yeah. Go on, Les. What do you think?
Well, we sort of done it was we split. So say what each venue's got different capacities in it. Do you know what I mean? So we got married in the Lechwin Hall Hotel, which we had a perfect wedding. It was absolutely brilliant. They've done a really good job for us to play. But so I can't remember the allocation we had. So say it was 100, right? We both said, right, Kate, you got 50, I got 50. So we literally then just went, right, 50. So I'm writing down all the people I think, right? It always comes to a stage where I'm looking, right, so I've done mine, and then how many have we got? And I'm counting them. Oh, I've got 70. I've got 20 over already, like, you know? So we did it that way. So we put it in the pot, and then we just went, okay, yes, 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 no, no, no. And it's a really horrible situation to be in because, I mean, it costs a lot of money to get married. It really does.
Of course
Doesn't
it
it?
does, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it comes down to, isn't it? It's the
It really
cost
does.
per head and the limitation that you've got. You
It
know,
really-
but even if you had a massive venue, if you were paying £100 a head
That's
for a
right.
guest, as much as you love them all,
Yeah.
you know, and there
Can't
is such a
afford it.
change now.
I was looking again before this started today, and I seen quite a nice tip, I think, and it was that the first people you invite are the people you couldn't imagine getting married without them there.
Yeah.
And then making
Yeah.
those essential, so kind of splitting them into, I absolutely have to have these people,
Yeah.
and then the rest, and then start to narrow it down like that.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about like the great aunties and the extended family, that's a old tradition.
It is.
That's what you done years ago. You had to have the aunties, the uncles, and everything. And I think this day, a lot of the modern weddings now, brides and grooms want their friends. They want people they spend a lot of time with. They want people that they cared about. Like you say, you might have an auntie in Scotland you haven't seen for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
But
Because
if you had to pick between the two, you want that person that is close to you.
And weddings are full of tradition, and there is a lot being broken now. As in
definitely.
look at me talking youngsters, like I'm really I'm really old now. When the younger generation are coming through, there's traditions being broken, which is I guess a good thing in some ways.
But there's new traditions being set, and I think that's a nice way of thinking about it. And none of these things are wrong. I mean, I go to some weddings, and some weddings absolutely blow me away in terms of like doing things that I'd never thought of, or colours that I'd never seen, and just the things they have during the day. So a lot of those things are really good. I think really good things.
Yeah. So basically, go on.
Sorry. I was going to say, it's their day at the end of the day, and it's their memories. And I could say they've got to be happy and been the day that they want to remember.
Yeah. And I think a nice little touch, like we were spoken about parents, is that I know it's the bride and groom's the couple's wedding, but I mean, like James said, like chatting to the parents and just saying, look, is there anybody you think we've forgotten? And just having that discussion so they're involved a little bit. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean to say that they can come, but is there anybody we have forgotten? Is there anybody you'd like to be there? Maybe they could be helping financially or something. It's just a nice little gesture to give back to the parents, from the couple, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the parents like to have some of their side of the family, even if you haven't seen them there. Just they like to show that they're proud of their kids getting married. Then basically, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't have to go overboard. Just explain to them. We can have so and so there, but we are limited, so it might just have to only be them, not them and them. And I think they should understand, because again, it is your day.
Yeah. And also, so where would you stand with so partners? So like, if they're married, they definitely got to have an invite +1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
say
I
like
don't know, actually.
friend and
you probably do.
Sorry, James.
No, I was going to say I don't know actually, but then you're probably right. You have to.
If they're married, it's going to be tricky and not to invite the other half, like.
Yeah.
I think so, but I have seen a few weddings that they don't invite the +1 being husband or wife, which I do find really surprising. But that's the way the changes are. It's up to each individual. But But then you were going to say, Les, if they're married, they definitely come.
Yeah.
But then what if it's girlfriend, boyfriend? Because
And
they could
they've
be
only
girlfriend,
been
boyfriend for
together.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I mean, how long over that period of how long together do you, A, not invite them, and B, yes, they must come, even though they're not married?
I think it's just invite people who you like and that you want to be there. And if I'm inviting you, Les, as my friend, you know, I know it's important that Kate's there. If I value you that much, then Kate will have an invite as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes all they just can't afford it, like, you know, and it's just one of the things that you need to think about. Like, obviously, if they're married, I feel they have to go, and then the partners need to go. And then if they've been together, I would say probably what? I mean, if they've been together 3 weeks, then probably they wouldn't get an invite.
No, and they probably wouldn't have been together when you arranged the wedding anyway, would they?
Oh, that's right.
So if you sent the invite out and they were single, and then they get with somebody, 2 or 3 weeks before, you just have to say, I'm sorry. And I think that's quite understandable anyway.
Yeah, more than
I think if somebody's been together and you know that they've been together, it's easier when it's friends of yours because you can become friends with the couple anyway. So that's easy enough. If it's 6 months they've been together, you've already, built a relationship with that partner. You know then yourself whether you want to invite them or not anyway, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a really these little things you just don't think about when you're getting married. You know, it's one of these sort of things you do that I don't know, causes a few arguments, I guess.
It does cause a few arguments, definitely.
You said that pretty strong, then, James.
Pardon?
You said that pretty strong, then.
But no, I was just going to say it before you said it, and it wasn't just between me and my wife. It was between my wife and members of her family, and me and members of my family. So there were some unpleasant conversations that had to go on.
It is, and it's a tricky.
I think planning a wedding can cause a lot of stress. Stress. Like I said, it's these issues, there's other issues as well, but I think picking the family and who you're inviting, I think probably is going to be one of the hardest things that you have to do.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't envy people. Honestly, I've been there, done it. Once is enough for me.
I think it's the hardest part. I think that bit, isn't it? As well as the seating plan for the the actual wedding breakfast.
Are we coming on to the wedding seating plan for the wedding breakfast?
Yeah, let's chat there.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, definitely. And there's been I've seen some really cool stuff today. So there are some websites which offer you some digital seating plans. I know you could kind of mock one up on Word or Paint, or if anybody remembers Paint. But there's one on Wedding Wire, All Seated, and Wedding Mapper. And you can just go in, enter your guest names. You can move people around, change the table shapes. Yeah, that is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool.
And they had some ideas then, because a lot of the issues we had is, should we sit them next to this person? Are they likely to get on? Are they going to find each other boring? Or have they had some sort of history that we should be aware of?
Kids' table. That's another thing. Some people don't invite children.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So do you have a separate kids' table?
We've been to quite a few weddings that have had kids' table, haven't they? Like, I'm not against kids going, but I think there should be a time limit, and then it should be. Yeah. That's just my personal view. Because, like, my niece and nephew, obviously, they would 100% be at my wedding. Even if they were toddlers, what have you. But there may be a few others who've got kids as well that would be there. But I think there would be a time limit, and it would be, the kids shouldn't really be at a wedding then. Just my personal view.
I think it's closest family.
Yeah, closest family.
Little ones anyway.
I think lots of people are doing that now in terms of times, and they're saying, look, children are welcome till 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
So another tip I saw, because we kind of worked when we are in my wedding, who's going to sit where, and that took quite a lot of time. How do you feel about just assigning tables? So just saying, Les.
I think it's a good idea.
So just saying you're on table 3.
Yeah.
For example.
So you aren't going to name places?
No.
So you can sit where you want on that table.
Yeah. I hadn't seen it or thought about it until today, but it's quite an intriguing one, I think.
Oh, look out! Paul says got to be 6 months plus at least. Under 6 months.
They don't come.
Not invited.
I think the suggestion you say now about the giving the table number, go and sit there, or it's still going to work the same, because usually you sat next to your partner anyway, going around the table, and you're going to sit like that when you get to that table. So I don't think that would make a lot of difference. I think the way in which it's mixed up now, we found whenever we go to a wedding, we get on with everybody, whether we know them or not. At the end of the, you're sitting with them all day, you're eating, you're drinking, you're chatting, you end up getting on with, you get on with everybody. I think the problem comes when you're trying to work out those
when there's one person
history
that doesn't get on.
Yeah, that's when it becomes more of an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a comment, a tip from Rachel saying that if you're unsure, let's pop him up. That if you're unsure about seating plans, watch Love Wedding Repeat. I haven't watched that, so you have.
What's the
and laughing faces? So I'm sure that's something worth watching.
She's probably tucking us up all Lambert.
I'm going to write it down.
Very good, another very good wedding photographer.
Can I just say
definitely
one point about seating plans and tables during a wedding breakfast, which is really important, and it really makes my life a lot more difficult, is centerpieces. Some people have these wonderful, massive centerpieces. Number one, it makes it really difficult for me because I can't perform for a whole table at once. But just in general, I think you can't talk to people that's opposite to. I find it's quite difficult. And it's a consideration, isn't it? If you're going to be sitting there watching the speeches, you're going to be like that, kind of what I've been doing. Probably through the episode. You have to kind of look around, and if somebody's speaking to you, you can, you have a little peek. And I'm not saying by all means it's your big day. You choose whatever you want. And, if you book me, I'll work around it. I promise. But don't not book me if you got a big floral display. But, it's definitely worth a consideration, though, isn't it? Because all those little things, people, if you're sitting people at the table because you think they'll get on, then
it's really difficult for me as well, shooting weddings, because if they got high centerpieces, trying to get around them, where we've got a long length on doing the speeches anyway, you're out the people's way, but trying to capture something that's going on behind a tall centerpiece, it's that split second that you've got to run around it, and you miss the moment, So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they look amazing.
Do you see as many of the big pieces like that now, though? So I think a lot of people are more aware now that it either needs to be a skinny stem so that you can see through, or something flatter. I do think people are aware of that now.
Yeah, trends are changing now. It's a lot, a lot lower.
It depends on venues as well, though. I think that certain venues have certain people decorating, and they kind of lean towards certain styles and trends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name them, obviously, but but it's definitely a consideration. Like,
so no ostrich feathers then, is there?
Where's the time for an ostrich feather?
Yeah, just make them really high or really low.
Yeah. No in between.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you should definitely have a renewal, because you've literally just planned your next wedding. That's exactly how you're going to do it.
I loved planning mine. Kate didn't have a look in. Honestly.
Well, that's good, that is. You don't that very often.
Honestly, you said you were a groomzilla, you said,
on the first episode, I was literally said I was a groomzilla. And it was because I go to so many weddings, and I was like, Kate was like, we're having this. And I was like, we ain't. I've seen that. It doesn't work. It's not happening. But we're having this. She was like, "Oh, will you let me plan some?" I was like, "No." I said, "I'm the wedding do you know what I mean? I don't tell you how to do pharmacy, like, you know what I mean? I'm a wedding
Oh.
But yeah, I was a bit of a groomzilla. If I'm honest.
It's good though. It's nice to hear that the groom had a lot of input, or if all in the input.
I love my wedding.
I just turned up to mine, ladies, so
That sounds more in keeping with the normal. Yeah, the norm. That's the norm.
I'll genuinely say to grooms, I mean, my wife's done a fantastic job, but thinking about all these things since since I've been involved in wedding business more, I wish I had actually done more of that because it is important. And that if you're watching, then I would urge you to get more involved.
You might have to renew now. Then now, how many years? Or 11 years? Another 4 years then.
Do 15.
Yeah, 15 years. I think 15 years is doable.
Yeah. Get planning.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll do.
Send it to us for the dress.
I absolutely will. I might end up marrying Les.
Well,
yeah,
you know where to come.
He's just so keen on the
Nice
dress.
little,
If Kate's not up for it, Les.
Nice little thing by here from Rachel. Never thought of that either. Trellis tables instead of round tables.
Yeah, nice.
That's really important as well as what shape tables you have at weddings, because you need to fit people in, like, and if a square table is better to a round table, or you don't think of things like that, do you? I guess.
No, that's right.
No, I think most people's experiences would be you go to a venue and they say these are the tables.
Yeah. I mean,
And
even when you go to wedding fairs, they're all pretty much the same round table. This is how the venue's going to be, sort of thing. So I think a bride and groom looks at that and thinks, all right, well, that's what it's going to be like, but we'll just change bits and bobs.
Yeah. Change what's on top. Yeah, it's important though. It's really important.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Right. Oh, hey, we bang on time today. That's good, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Fab.
That's good.
Alan's just fallen down the chair.
Oh, there he is.
There
You go. Look at that.
Wow. He was sitting on our lap and then he just fell in the middle of the chair.
Nice. Oh, he's still asleep.
Hello.
He is. He's woken up.
Hello.
Oh, he is bigger than a Frenchie, mind. You weren't joking about that.
He's massive. Babes. He's really well behaved though. Fair
So when
play to
your shop now, they get to see Al as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's here 90% of the time, isn't he? Yeah.
Quality. Alan,
can brides request him to be there?
Some do, and then we make sure if I've already gone home and Alison's doing a late evening appointment, because usually he's here with me in the day. I stay later just so the bride can see Alan, because everybody sees him on Facebook, so they all want a bit of Alan.
Or if they've been in once, they're really disappointed if they come in with me for a fit-in and he's not here. It's like, well, where's Alan? So if they do request, he's here.
You could add maybe another service, like when dogs go down the aisle with rings on the back.
Yeah, we've been asked that. We had one of our brides wanted us. Well, I was doing makeup, and she wanted me to take Alan to the house while I was doing makeup, just so she could have her photos and everything with him in. But that would have been a nightmare for me because I would have been working and he would have been everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, look at that yawn.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, thank you so much. It's been absolutely
thank you for having us.
You're welcome. It's been fun.
Live. BelleMarieeBridal.co.uk. Is that right? That is right.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for wedding dresses, you're looking for the whole experience, and I'm not just saying it because they hear and I know them. These pair are absolutely brilliant at what they do. It's not just about the dresses, and I hope it's come across how approachable and lovely they are. And it goes a lot for wedding services. It's not just business; it's a passion,
we're really relaxed. We are. We just like you to come in and just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? As we're talking now, that's exactly how we are. We don't change. We don't go all hoity-toity and this is what you got to have. This is just us, basically.
Yeah. What I've
friendly
really
and professional.
What I've really got from the conversation, though, ladies, is that you really care. You care that bride good experience and get the dress that they want, and that's really really important, isn't it?
Yeah. And like Les said, we do end up being friends with everybody. We get invited to so many weddings. We got to buy a hat every time.
Yeah, and we do try and go to them all.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. It's been a real pleasure. So if you're ever looking for wedding dresses, not just wedding dresses, mother of the bride.
Yeah.
And groom.
Flower girls.
Yeah. So pop along, BelleMarieeBridal.co.uk. They're down in Porth, little shop on the hill as you're driving around. You can't miss them. Pop in. Yeah. If the door's locked, they can't see you. They're with another bride. Give them a ring for a consultation.
Yeah. Perfect. Couldn't have put it better myself.
Wow. See? Wow. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
Good
for
night,
having us.
Porth.
We're back in, and we haven't had any problems.
No, it's been fab.
We'll come again.
Yours out again, but I'm used to that now. It's like a running joke.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I love it. Count to 5, James.
1.
Oh, he's back in.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right
Right
at the end.
and
Story of
now
my
I
life.
just said that. And that's absolutely crazy. Anyway, ladies, thank you so much.
Great. Catch you all soon. The next
both.
one will be not next week, the week after, obviously. Take care.
Yeah, 2 weeks, is it? 2 weeks' time, James? Is that what we're saying we're going to do?
Yeah, fortnightly. So
yeah.
it will
check some of the comments here. Rachel's in again. Yeah, Rachel, I totally agree.
It'll be the
Absolutely.
23rd, won't it?
Yeah, 23rd. And I believe, although I'm totally agreeing with Rachel there, they are two lovely people there. Yeah, and I believe we got Ultra Booth. I think we're going to be talking entertainment, evening entertainment, stuff like that. Little ideas on what people can have, things we've seen, which is, again, your bag as well, being your role, coming to meetings and entertaining everybody. So we're going to be having Ultra Booth on, discussing entertainment and talking through their, absolutely amazing service, to be honest, because the things that they do now from where this first started is incredible. So, that was absolutely brilliant. James, I think that is...
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I learned lots again. So thank you very, very much to the ladies. So tune in next time.
Thank you very much. See you in 2 weeks' time. Over and out.
Over and out.